Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon, dear friends. I'm here again with the favorite subject of peace activists of India and Pakistan. Though I, by myself, I mean, as a journalist, I have always tried to promote peace through rational ways. And every sane person, he or she, strives for peace because that is a prerequisite for prosperity around the globe. Only in peaceful environment we can manage to have thriving economy. Economy has internal and external dimensions. The world community is at peace with each other. Interstate relations are established on peace, then interstate trade also flourishes. And why it is so that this fact was ignored by scores of leaders? And the world has seen major wars in recent history, like First World War and Second World War. So the simple answer to this question is that the Woodrow Wilson was the American president. He had realized the importance of peace. Americans, they are living in peace with themselves and with their neighbors as well. They do have small neighbors behind the Atlantic Ocean. They don't have any big neighbors at their borders. So they can think in terms of peace. No external intervention is there in US affairs. And then the quality of education there is very high. But even Woodrow Wilson was unable to win membership in the world body for USA because every president needs approval for such commitments from Senate. But his ideas had helped us to promote peace, or at least to chalk out some plans for peace. Right now we are having United Nations as a world body for peace, for promotion of peace. And their work is commendable, especially the idea that if we can provide civil, economic, and political rights to the people, then we can provide true freedom to them. In simple words, freedom does not come out from the barrel of the gun, as it is being believed here. And we are made to believe in this because of the outgrowth of weapon industry, war industry in Europe and America. So the vested interest, they make the leaders think in terms of war, in terms of rising tensions, and which they do through their statements to sell more arms in different regions at different times. That is necessary for the survival of the war industry because too many people are employed. And the big question before the humanity is now that how that war industry will be converted into peace industry, and how that satanic thinking which has caused promotion of war industry will be eliminated to save the humanity, because there are such big problems which the humanity at large scale is facing. Environmental pollution caused by certain inventions, that is a big challenge. Industrialization, especially environment unfriendly industrialization, that has caused a big problem all around the globe. 8 billion people of the globe are facing this challenge of environmental pollution. And still there are no concrete measures which can save the humanity in that respect. And even in the USA, where the quality education is there, in Great Britain, where the quality education is there, you will hardly find anyone who is coming up, among leaders, who is coming up with concrete steps to save humanity at large. And most of the world leaders, even today, they are thinking in terms of securing their own national interest, whether that interest is based upon selling more arms to the other nations of the world by making them quarrel with each other. So at the peak of the civilization, certain developed countries are pursuing very inhuman policies towards the rest of developing world. Whenever people here in Pakistan and India, they talk in terms of peace, I do appreciate that. Though our education system, both in India and Pakistan, is unable to create the leadership which can evaluate the existing scenario prevailing here in both countries, and to come up with concrete measures regarding settlement of all the disputes, outstanding disputes between India and Pakistan, differences as well. So situation is really pathetic here because if I can evaluate all this, and if I can come up with the solutions, um, what to think about elders, I mean, their education system and their environment was quite different than us. And even the younger ones whom are getting quality education here in both India and Pakistan, so far even they are unable to understand the need of true leadership and the need of truly democratic parties, political parties which are having uh, real democracy within their own setup. Well, yesterday I was pleased to hear from Bilawal Bhutto, and he was interviewed by someone, an Indian TV channel anchor, and I was greatly pleased to hear him talking sense. The confidence which he has, he is a hope for everyone. He's a young man. From his assertions, now I have realized that something good is about to come. People here. But that young man is a Pakistani one. I mean, his counterpart, who was the one who was interviewing him, he by himself was a young man of his age, Bilawal's age, probably. Both are class fellows. Uh, they were having this interview. And his approach was still that bullying approach which the Indians have usually, and that is madness. How can you, I mean, try to bully a nation? I'm talking about Indians who have defeated you in all wars, and maybe we are small in size and smaller in population than India, but our potential to defend ourselves is beyond any doubt of any nation. And Indians have experienced all that, though I don't believe in these things and in wars. And I always talk in terms of peace, and whenever I'm conversing with the youth, even with the elder ones, I tell them that there will be no prosperity if there is no peace. We cannot do any politics if there is no peace within the society here in India and Pakistan. And for that, we need those mentally capable individuals to come out and to lead us, whom they are sane and normal. Because our education system, our social setup, okay, can save only those children who are privileged to have guards soon after their birth, and all other children, even in India and in Pakistan, those who are not that much privileged to have guards soon after their birth, they are being often mistreated sexually during their childhood. Majority of the children, in one way or the other, and all those friends who are having good eyesight since their childhood, they look around, having friends from middle and lower classes, who share their experiences with each other. They all know that sexual abuse is a common feature here. Though we are a closed society and we do not uh, confess and profess and assess even the situation related to child abuse, but that is there. So we don't have normal people. Majority of them are being mistreated during their childhood, and the psychological impacts upon their minds are quite visible now when they become leaders. Even in the West, I mean, uh, and in United States of America, in Great Britain, I hardly find any leader who can come up with real solutions like promotion of peace after realizing that the prosperity and security, overall security of humanity is impossible without peace. And they are often, I find them promoting their national interest based upon interest of certain lobbies, weapon sellers. They do fund them, weapon sellers, they do fund the leadership and to push them often to pursue policies through which their weapons can be sold out. So these were certain points that which I want to convey to the younger ones here in subcontinent especially, and to the elder ones too. If they're really committed to peace and they really want prosperity in India and Pakistan, then they shall avoid uh, that alliances with such countries where the leadership is bent upon selling weapons all around, especially in subcontinent, and are bent upon creating understandings between India and Pakistan. So it is all about education, and when education is of a high quality, and then that paves the way for larger understanding. Promotion of peace is not a task which can be done by only one man or a team. Well, if the team is comprised of whole of the population of India and Pakistan, then that can be done. If there is understanding on this subject, then every problem can be resolved. When I say that in accordance with UN Charter, if we can, any leadership, Pakistan can provide civil, political, and economic rights to all the people, including Kashmiris, the problem is resolved. India is free, Pakistan is free, Kashmir is free. But those whom are just capturing the imagination of the people here by promoting the idea that, okay, we win Kashmir through sending armies. Indians, they think like this. Yeah. And they think that those who are in favor of India, they win freedom because their army is there. And there are people who are fighting against Indian army, and they think that through the barrel of gun, they will be able to promote peace. Well, if I tell them all the money spent on this futile exercise which is going on in Kashmir, which is really it is inhuman activity which is going on there. Thousands of people are killed. Ethnic cleansing is going on. So Kashmir is now they are resisting that. That armed struggle is there, and if you see, if we are having quality education, and if we know what the federation means and what the power of judicial review is, and if the Chief Justice of Indian Supreme Court, if he knows that he can extend his power of judicial review or executive orders of the Indian executive heads, even for the legislation of Indian Parliament, and if he is approached by the people of Kashmir, he can stop the atrocities going on within Kashmir. Chief Justice of Indian Supreme Court can do that if he is being approached by the people of Kashmir. Even he can take so much notice on it. I don't think that prevailing biases, because we are a multicultural society. Subcontinent is a multicultural society, and obviously biases are there, and that element of quality education is lacking, and a good sense as well. I think things are not that difficult, and provided if there is the will is there, the will to solve every problem through peaceful means, after realizing that freedom lies in the fact that people are enjoying their political, economic, and civil rights. That is the criteria of freedom. And that freedom cannot be provided to anyone through the barrel of the gun or under the barrel of the gun. And the moment this realization is being spread around, I think there will be a lasting peace here in some point. And the realization regarding promotion of peace is much needed in US leadership and in leadership of the first world countries. That their task in present day world of a humanitarian nature can be that they must convert their war industry into peace industry, and they shall abstain from creating frictions in the developing world to sell their arms. I wish all the best to all of you, and good luck.